Hello and welcome to a new episode of Trains Out, or Rush Hour Trains Out it should be said. And today we're at Tring on the West Coast Mainline, where you're seeing services from Avanti West Coast, London Northwestern Railway, Southern, and various freight as well. As I was getting myself sorted, we had a pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s pass through going from Northampton to London Euston. We had another pair going from Crewe to London Euston, and we had two Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolinos pass through, one going from Liverpool Lime Street to London Euston, and the second was going to Manchester Piccadilly from London Euston. Oh, shut up. So, with that being said, let's see what else shall turn up. Okay, our first train of the day is going to be a terminating London Northwestern Railway service comprised of a pair of Class 350s, working a service from London Euston. So leading the way is 350-113. With 243 bringing up the rear. The train is, for the most part, completely empty. Okay, the next train to pass by, 15 minutes late, will be a pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s. 402 and 376, working a London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston to Birmingham New Street. And the next train to pass by will be the trio of Royal Mail 325s working the Daily Mail train from Willesden to Shieldmere. 011 leading. .007 on the rear, and I believe 012 was in the middle. Okay, departing now is going to be the 1657 London Northwestern Railway service to London Euston. So, 243 now leads the set away. With 113 now taking up the rear. Okay, the next train to round the bend will be a pair of Avanti West Coast 221 Super Voyagers working a service from London Euston to Edinburgh Waverley. You can always hear them before you see them. One 113 and 221 104. Okay, the next train to pass by will be an Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino going from Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston. City of Carlisle 39134 complete with the sparking pantograph. Okay, the next train to pass by that is going to be making a fair amount of a racket will be a pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s going from London Euston to sunny Crewe. .263 and 105 with the honours for that one. Okay, the next train to arrive will be another terminating London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston, worked by a pair of Class 350s. Leading the way will be 350-119. And on the rear is 245. Okay, the next train to pass by will be another pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s going from Birmingham New Street to London Euston. (236) and (250). Both still in their former London Midland colour scheme. Okay, the next train to pass by will be 390-119. And she is running about 8 minutes late with a service from London Euston to Manchester Piccadilly. And the next train to pass by will be a pair of Avanti West Coast 221 Super Voyagers going from Blackpool North to London Euston. (115) and (118). Okay, the next train to pass by is going to be a Freightliner 66 going from London Gateway to Garston. As there will be the late-running 1718 London Northwestern Railway service from Milton Keynes Central to Northampton departing with a trio of Class 350s. So, here we have 66-532. Decent variety of containers and a couple of tank containers thrown in for good measure. Okay, the next train to pass by will be a trio of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s going from London Euston to Northampton. (128), (373) and (265). All sparking away quite handsomely. Okay, the next train to pass by will be a duo of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s going from Crewe to London Euston. (262) and (237). Then we have a Felixstowe North to Lawley Street Freightliner train coming through, worked by 597. Again, a couple of variety of shapes and size container on there. And now departing is the 1727 London Northwestern Railway service to London Euston. So 245 is now leading, with 119 bringing up the rear. Okay, and passing by now is 390-039 with what I believe to be a late running service from London Euston to Liverpool Lime Street. Then we have incoming a GBRF Class 66 working an intermodal train, a lightly loaded one, from Birch Coppice to London Gateway. Then we have another Avanti West Coast Class 390 passing through from Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston. Feet together, 390.001. Doing about turn once more. To find the 66 will be 66.713. Forest City. She's going to be chasing Ambers all the way. Interesting, that container's containing flammable material. For those of you with a keen eye, you will note these containers have a triangle on them, which say the words super heavy, as if it already wasn't apparent that a container could be heavy. But they feel the need to stick these on the containers to let you know that it is indeed quite heavy. Slow and steady wins the race, as they say. A couple of new container flats here on the rear. And back to old ones. Okay, the next train to pass by will be another Avanti West Coast class 390 Penzino going from London Euston to Liverpool Lime Street. (390.046) running about 20 minutes late. The previous 390 heading northbound was actually bound for Glasgow Central, as we have now incoming another 390 from Glasgow to London Euston. 391.17 with a nice crack from the pantograph there. Okay, the next train to pass by would be a pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s going from London Euston to Birmingham New Street. (337 and 111). And the next train to pass by will be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from Liverpool Lime Street to London Euston. (391.23) with the honours for that one there. Pantograph still sparking away quite handsomely. And about to pass by now will be 39157 for Avanti West Coast, working a service from London Euston to Manchester Piccadilly. All the pantographs seem to be sparking quite handsomely through here, so I'm not going to complain at that. Okay, coming in now 12 minutes late will be the 17:30 London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston to Milton Keynes Central. Worked by a trio of Class 350s, so leading proceedings will be X-Transpennine 350-408. In the middle is 352-47. And on the rear is... can't actually see from here, so I'll have to wait until she leaves. Okay, the next train to pass by will be an Avanti West Coast Class 390 heading to Glasgow Central. And this service, as you can see here, is in a spot of bother. I was just eavesdropping as to what the guard was announcing to all the passengers on board the service, and apparently there's an electrical fault that the driver is trying to investigate. And just as the pendolino was coming through, he's lowered all 3 pantographs. This could be interesting. And there goes a pigeon, because, well, why not? Curious to see how long this is going to last for, because I may have to... oh, hello. Oh, there we go. Pantographs are up. Intriguing. Oh, the driver is out. And he's back in again. I wonder what's going on. Okay, the next train to pass by will be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from Glasgow Central to London Euston. Cumbrian Spirit 390-010. Well, whatever the issue is, it's been resolved, but he's been here for about 10-12 minutes now. The driver had just been on the blower to the guard, and all seems well. They've locked the doors. Oh. Oh. There we go. So that's now running 23 minutes late. Well, on the rear was 350-109, and beside me here is 350-118 and one of our classmates that have just arrived with a terminating service from London Euston. This will be working the 1759 back to London Euston. Well, whatever electrical gremlins were plaguing that Milton Keynes bound service, it'll be interesting to see if it has the same issues when it departs Cheddington, Leighton Buzzard, Bletchley, and when it tries to eventually leave Milton Keynes, if the driver has completely rectified whatever's going on. Okay, about ready to depart now. Should be the 1759 London Northwestern Railway service to London Euston. So 118 is leading, and 114 brings up the rear. Then we have an Avanti West Coast Class 390 passing by, bound for Glasgow Central. (390-106). Pantograph sparking away quite nicely. Okay, the next train to pass by will be another pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s going from Birmingham New Street to London Euston. (238) and (264). Catching the sunlight as she rounds the bend. And rounding the bend will be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino going from Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston. (390,154). Okay, the next train to pass by will be another pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s going from London Euston to Crewe. (350,250) and (236). Humming away quite happily. Okay, the next train to come charging along will be a Freightliner 66 hauling an intermodal train from Ditton O'Connor to Felixstowe North. (66,501). Japan 2001. Certainly not hanging about. Okay, and the next train to arrive will be another terminating London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston, worked by a pair of Class 350s. Making a fair amount of noise. So, leading proceedings will be 352.48. With 371 bringing up the rear. So what's this advertising then? Birmingham Airport. Lovely. Okay, the next train to pass by is going to be a GBRF 66 going from Wembley to Leicester. (767) and (56,081), hauling some Mark I barrier wagons. Never going to say no to them. Okay, and the next load of trains to pass by will be a trio of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s going from London Euston to Northampton. (117, 258 and 122). I think that train that went to Milton Keynes Central has failed at Cheddington, as the light on platform 3 hasn't changed from red at all, which is why the GBRF train going from Wembley to Leicester was going on the up fast line. Which makes me think that the corresponding services that are supposed to depart platform 3 may end up getting shuffled to platform 1, unless there's a junction in between Tring and Cheddington. There might be. And the next train to pass by will be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from Edinburgh Waverley to London Euston. 390-155. And the next train to pass by will be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 bound for Manchester Piccadilly. 390-115, Allison. And then coming through now will be yet another Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston. 390-130. Now I want to say that was City of Edinburgh. And passing by now is going to be a rather loud 390-134 working in Avanti West Coast service to Liverpool Lime Street. Okay, and the next train to make an appearance will be another GBRF Class 66 going from Trafford Park to Felixstowe North. Wait for it. 3, 2, 1. 66 at 708, Jane. An almost full load, with the rear half of that train consisting of the brand new container wagons. Okay, about ready to depart now should be the 1825 London Northwestern Railway service to London Euston. Nope, try again. There you go. As we also have coming in the 1826 London Northwestern Railway service to Milton Keynes Central, which means I was wrong about the line being blocked. It was a good theory. So 371 now leads. 248 is on the rear. Here is 246 leading. With former Transpennine 407 bringing up the rear. Plenty of people on board. A right variety. Okay, and departing now is the 1826 London Northwestern Railway service to Milton Keynes Central. Okay, the next train to pass by will be a pair of Avanti West Coast 221 Super Voyagers going to Wrexham General and Holyhead. (221-106) and (221-101) for the honours for that one. Okay, the next train to make appearance will be another pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s going from London Euston all the way to Birmingham New Street. (237) and (262). And the next train to come barrelling through will be another pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s running 12 minutes late from Crewe to London Euston. So, 235 is on the rear, sporting the British Transport Police colour scheme, and on the front was former former TransPennine 350-401. And here we are. Be together 390-001, but seen for the second time today, on a return run to Manchester Piccadilly. Makes sense that it goes up that way. Okay, the next train to round the bend will be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 Penzolino going from Liverpool Lime Street to London Euston. (39141) complete with the remnants of a bird strike, presumably that of a pigeon. And then incoming will be the late-running 1839 Southern service from Selhurst to Milton Keynes Central. Southern are operating a very, very limited timetabling of the services operating on the West Coast Mainline, mainly due to all the issues with COVID. So, leading the way will be 377204. With 201 bringing up the rear, as there go a trio of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s working a service from Northampton to London Euston. Okay, about ready to depart will be the late running 1839 Southern service to Milton Keynes Central. I had to think about that one then. A very gentle pull away. Okay, the next train to pass by will be another pair of Avanti West Coast 221 Super Voyagers working a service from London Euston to Shrewsbury. (108) and 115. It's going to be weird when the Voyagers aren't running on the West Coast Mainline anymore, but the move of the times, I guess. Okay, about to pass past now, we have (39123) working an Avanti West Coast service from London Euston to Glasgow Central. I've actually got a decent shot then and one knot of a pillar. Okay, the next range drive is another terminating London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston. Worked as ever by a pair of Class 350s. So we actually see the return of 35113, and I can't for the life of me remember who's on the rear, so you know. (243). That's the ticket. Not an entirely full train. Okay, the next train to pass by will be an Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from London Euston to Crewe. (390-131). And it appears as if the electrical fault on the 350s was never truly worked out, as the returning service to London Euston was subsequently cancelled after the train was going to be running upwards of 40 minutes late. Okay, the next train to pass by is going to be a very claggy DB Cargo UK Class 66 going from Trafford Park Euro Terminal to London Gateway DB Cargo. Looks like she's fully loaded. There's a fair bit of weight that that she's hauling. You can see the clag already. Oh, fantastic! Maritime Intermodal 466051. Thundering over the points. Okay, now running just a minute late as a result, having to wait for the 66 to rumble through, will be the 1859 London Northwestern Railway service to London Euston. Okay, the next train to pass by will be another pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s going from Birmingham New Street to London Euston. (242) and 254. Okay, the next train to round the bend will be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 Penzino going from Glasgow Central to London Euston. Works by 390-103. Then we see the return of 391-17 working an Avanti West Coast service from London Euston to Manchester Piccadilly. Okay, our final train of the day will be some empty coaching stock going from Burton-on-Trent to Wembley, worked by a DB Cargo's 67. (67,006) Royal Sovereign with a beautiful rake of BR Mark 1s and 2s and a former Anglia Mark II on the rear. And as she continues onwards, I shall leave it there. Thank you all very much for watching, it is greatly appreciated. If you have enjoyed what you've seen today, then please do like and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment, I do get back to them as and when I get the opportunity to. I have thoroughly enjoyed my time filming here at Tring. It's always a good station to come to, plenty of variety to be seen, so I'm not going to complain. I haven't got the faintest idea where I'm going to go for my next rush hour film, so you'll have to look in the description. By the time this gets released, I would have filmed at wherever I'm going to be filming, so do keep an eye out for that one. But if you do have any trackside locations or stations you'd like to see me go to, be it for rush hour or just for my generic trains out, then please do let me know and I shall see what I can do for you. But until next time, from me here at Tring, I shall see you all later. Take care guys, goodbye.